Shut it up. Shut it up. Please. I hate this song. So, what should I talk about? Because it's awful. What are we gonna do with this? God, I hate cameras.
I love playing pretend, I always have. I love creating characters. I am a circus-style multi-hoop performer.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jenny Hill.
We have this family thing where we don't make lasagna. Whenever we make lasagna, bad things happen. My dad crashed his car when my mom made lasagna, and our neighbor Jane's house burned down the other time my mother made lasagna, so we don't make lasagna. Just Cooper Sharp or
Something we can slice, or do you want Munster, or do you care? Or?
I don't really care. It's fine. Any kind of cheese.
So sliced cheese.
Yeah, we have bread. Did you get lettuce?
I do not.
When I wake up in the morning, this is the first thing that I see. Joy, jubilate. Great word. Good word to wake up to. It's funny, sometimes I think, well, you know, I'll be wearing the most outrageous, weird thing, and no one says a word. My neighbors are used to seeing me in the elevator wearing all sorts of odd things, so they don't ask anymore. It's really hard to see out of the back of the car with all of this stuff. That's one of the issues here. But I'm looking forward to this morning. I really like working with kids. It's so much fun. Their energy is usually way up. They're enthusiastic. Most of them are ready to give anything a go. And I think, you know, as adults, we kind of lose that. Not that we lose the enthusiasm. I think we have the enthusiasm. Maybe it's just hiding. We worry about what we look like. If we'll be foolish. Kids don't think about that stuff. Not until they get to about 6th grade. The character is a little girl who's been banished to her room to clean it, and she gets distracted by all of the toys in her room, and then eventually the hula hoops. It is very much like getting to be a kid again and do all the things that I used to do in my bedroom, making up games and dressing up and pretending that I had a television show. When I was really young, I got very, very nervous getting up in front of a group, and I was pretty shy. I would shake uncontrollably, and I had a piano recital once where I played the entire piece an octave too high, and I made all sorts of mistakes because my hands were shaking so badly. But so I still carry that with me. I still have that kind of nervous energy before a show. I'd be worried if I didn't have it, because I think that if you lose that, then it doesn't matter to you anymore. I think you get nervous because you care, and I care. If I were able to go back and talk to myself when I was 8 and say, this is what you're going to be doing in your 40s, I never would have believed that. I cannot believe I'm 45. I still feel like I'm 8 years old. I understand when I'm talking with older people now when they say, oh, how am I 82? You know? I love it because it makes me feel like a kid. The original hula hoop was created by Whammo in 1958.
Hula hoop with shoop shoop sound, only by Whammo.
And it became known as hooping then. The hula part just sort of dropped off. I come here every day of the week. I'm easy to stalk. I have to practice every day if I want to stay strong enough to be able to do it for as long as I want to be able to. I've put in many hours. Yeah. Many hours. And I feel part of that is I'm not young. It's found me late. I don't have a lot of time. There's probably more to it, but that's good for now. You see little bits of yourself in your child, but they are so much better. My father built her a dollhouse. He used to build dollhouses too, and
Hi, Dad.
and she was cleaning out the inside of it and, you know, replacing shingles on the outside and things like that. And I thought, oh, that's really great. And the remodeling is turning this thing into a work of art. She did the whole side of the house with a collage of photographs and their family photos. So it's photos of my dad and her, and a photo of there's a photo of our house. It's the house I raised her in.
La, 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 la.
Blah. I also don't like crying on camera. It's the house that I raised her in, and
Dancing raccoon.
we used to call it the slanty shanty because it's crooked. It's built over a mine shaft, an abandoned mine shaft, which is a metaphor. She's taken this dollhouse and just turned it into something all her own, and I feel really proud of her. All signs were pointing toward we can't be in the city anymore. We need to move out. So even though moving out of the city isn't something that we really want to do, it feels right. I think it's something that we have to do for now. You know, there's that old saying, you bloom where you're planted. And so I don't really think geography matters a whole lot. What you do with where you are matters. Doing this project with you, I have thought so much about it, and it has taught me a lot. Having someone sit with you and ask you questions about your life, and you tell your stories, your little stories, you think that they're little, it makes you feel wonderful, and that you matter, that what you're doing matters. But it's also so difficult to encapsulate a whole life. There's no way that it can all be shown. You can't capture somebody's whole life in a film, in a poem, in a play, in a dance. You know, there's just, in a book. There's no way to capture it all. But I'm glad to have been given the opportunity to do it. So I have a file on my desktop on my computer that is funeral playlist, and I have the start of a Spotify playlist that is my funeral music.
Can you give us some? Or is it?
Yeah, I'll give you a couple, but I'm not telling you all because that'll be like making lasagna. So.